Both of these players very strong. Both of these players top 4 in the previous season of MAG1.
Yeah,
Both of these
absolutely.
players definitely capable of winning the game and taking the easy road out of the group, or the quicker road out of the group.
Oh, I'd definitely say it's the easy road out of the group. Like, you gotta win to get there, but you don't gotta play anywhere near as many matches in this insane group we got. Like, I don't want to be the guy in the best of threes, that's for sure. I want the nice
Indeed.
best BO1 ticket out of here. But honestly, this group could be anybody's game. Like, everybody here is very, very strong. Honestly, this could be the finals. Any of these matchups could just be the finals, and that would not be surprising at all. All
Indeed.
incredible players.
In fact, you never know, this matchup could still be the finals of MAG1.
Yeah, it really could. Literally any of these could be that. I very much expect it to be too, so we shall see.
We see Flower Fairy, favorite unit Vulcan. Maybe we will see some Vulcans this game. Did not see Vulcans in the previous game.
Mhm. And going back to our heat map here for Agri, the Blob Enthusiast, very much the polar opposite of Fairy. Just does not care where the units are. The units are doing things, and that is awesome. In particular, though, definitely favoring the standard positioning with a little bit of center pulls on round 1. Definitely no stranger to the aggro there, as you can see with the darker orange blobs in the top of the map.
Yep. Maybe not too much of a corner player when he goes aggro, but
Mhm.
definitely happy to play aggro.
Yeah, for sure. That's a good shot. Definitely very center pull focused whenever he is aggro. Or maybe even just like, really likes like a higher up Fang in the middle or something like that on turn 1. Do you know that all these are on turn 1, whereas by contrast here, Fairy very much not a blob gamer, knows exactly where he wants his units, and does not put them anywhere else.
So this
Also a
is
very big
where the
fan
crawler
of
goes. This is where the marksman goes.
yep. He's also a very big fan of that back center crawler on 1, as you can see.
Indeed.
There's definitely no way that's anything else, you know it's a crawler. And
That said, last game against Fang Fang, you noticed that he did not place the back center crawler round 1. He placed a crawler
mhm,
all the way in the back right on round 1 instead.
he did indeed.
Maybe switching it up a little bit, keeping people guessing. Is the crawler going to be in the middle? Is the
Mhm.
crawler going to be on the right? Who knows?
Yeah, I mean,
Clearly would have a
as you
huge impact on round 1 strategy.
for sure. But I mean, as you could see by his heat map too, right? Like, Fairy definitely is not afraid of playing aggro, so perhaps that back center crawler is for his aggro games rather than the standard games. But getting into the packs, Agri has a beautiful looking elite pack. And by beautiful, I mean terrible, but it's still an elite pack, so it's beautiful in my eyes. Goes instead with a quick supply, unsurprising. Maybe that elite pack was
Oh,
not it, but it was still elites. Would have loved to
quick
see it get
supply
picked up.
sabers. You got so many options. You can unlock like any unit round 1. Are we going to see round 1 Saber Mustang into the Stormcallers plus Fangs? Could be. Nope, it's Arclights.
Nope. Says, "No thank you, I do not want the Mustangs." I don't blame him. Although, honestly, against Marksman Specialist, maybe there was some consideration for the Mustangs, right? Like, you're not as happy to be an Arclight, although your chaff clear is better if you're an Arclight, so, it's a bit of both. Like, the Mustangs can function as much better chaff while also still chaff clearing, allegedly. The opponent isn't Fangs, so it's, like, pretty reasonable, maybe. Could be copium, though. Well, who do you think is favored on 1
Unfortunately,
between these two?
Stormcaller is not the unit you want to see on the enemy board if you have Sabretooth round 1. This
Yeah, I think
is
so too.
one of the big reasons not to pick Sabers, because you might run into Stormcallers and you might run into Steel Balls, and both of them can promise a world of pain.
I mean, aren't you also happy to queue into Sledges? Like, are you happy to queue into anything that isn't Tarantula as Saber?
Well, Saber's reasonably likely to beat Sledges round 1, but you can already see, okay, that Saber is doing nothing and it's dead. Unlucky.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, maybe like this last crawler being further forward could have prevented that from happening potentially, but honestly, late crawlers versus storms are just way better than a Saber TBH, right? So like,
Honestly, the crawler timing is looking really good for Agri. Maybe Flower Fairy's initial Arclight positioning not serving him very well, with that Arclight taking tower instead of clearing crawlers for the Stormcallers. Maybe would have preferred to have that Arclight clearing crawlers so that the Stormcallers could kill the second Sabertooth, but Agri taking round 1, that's honestly kind of a huge win if you're starting with Sabers into Stormcallers.
Yeah, definitely. And both players' starting HP is really, really low. Both below 4,000 on turn 2, which is not something you see super often.
Yep. It starts to make you nervous very quickly.
Yeah, definitely. So maybe we'll see a game. I mean, in this game, Agri is aggro, right? But maybe we'll see a defense game paced pretty quickly from Fairy, given how low their HP is. Both players did immediately go for the damage item, by the way. Pretty unsurprising. In fact, that's been the
True.
trend every game we've seen so far, right? I think there's been an item on 2, and it's been picked by both players every time on 2.
Yep. Damage item a little bit more awkward than the HP item, perhaps. Fire Fairy
Hmm.
feels like has to put it on the Stormcaller, maybe not the unit you want to be putting it on, but it definitely kills that Saber really quickly as the unit placements currently shake out.
Yeah, definitely. Pretty unsurprised to see Agri go for the Mustang immediately with a damage item. This is what I was expecting from him. I feel like every time I see Agri play or play him myself, he is in a Mustang mirror with me. So
Yep.
no surprise to see him immediately go for it here.
It's like
Very
my read on
saying,
Agri. He goes Arclights and Mustangs, and then he gets a giant unit.
yep. That is exactly my read on Agri as well. Seems accurate.
So round 1, Agri did buy an extra crawler with his quick supply money. This time, the supplies are pretty much equalized with Flower Fairy getting the orange marksman, which is definitely going to be able to quickly kill sabers if he happened to have any problems killing sabers with this itemized Stormcaller here.
Yeah, I don't know. Do you think he actually does have problems killing the Sabres still? It's hard to tell. Like, he has way better chaff timing this turn for the Sabres, so
I think
he
this
kind
round he
of.
might once again have slight problems. Oh, I think he's got it. He's got it.
It's really close. Well, once again, both players super, super low. This is a really close round, too, so nobody's in any severe danger yet.
Yeah, and Agri
Wow.
flanking with
Another
that
item.
crawler definitely did not expect the Arclight to turn and take care of the flanking crawler. Maybe unlucky for Agri that previous round.
Yeah, I'm actually kind of surprised that happened because if you look at it on the map, like, it looks really close to the Saber and also the Crawler, and it's also facing by default towards the Saber, right? So a bit surprising to see it happen.
Yeah, it's really hard to tell how things are gonna turn when you flank, and you can't
Yeah.
always trust the arrows, perhaps.
Oh, I never trust the arrows. The arrows are dirty liars, man. Don't ever trust those guys. They're lying to you. Obviously, this turn we can see it super clearly, but the previous turn for Agri, he would not have had this information super clearly to him. Even if he did, we shouldn't trust it. I think maybe if he put a skull at the very back of the flank rather than the front, he might have not had the Arclight turn, but it's hard to say. I wonder
Can
if this
we
Arclight still
campaign
goes to the
for
back.
100% reliable arrows?
Man, that's on my wish list for this game. It's like Control Z, undo button, and reliable arrows. My god.
Oh boy. Anyway, finally protecting that saber a little bit with a brand new Fang. Not going to do 500 damage this round, hopefully. Maybe it has some chaff. Oh wait, that Arclight? Okay, Arclight might not get splashed by Stormcallers anymore, but now the saber is getting insta-locked again. I don't know. We're gonna play with the positioning and see how it shakes out. I think that
Um,
saber's dead.
yeah,
Oh,
I
maybe
think
not. No,
it's.
no.
Oh, it's
Agri
not.
calculated it well.
Wow. Wow. That's the Agri
Amazing
Blob special right there.
calculations.
Yep. That's the Blob representing. That is the I tinker with the positioning until I'm happy with the arrows positioning right there.
I now understand the meaning of the blob.
Yes, exactly. If that doesn't
And
illustrate the
Orange
Blob,
Man is
what
gonna feed
will?
another bucket of XP to the Mustang player.
I know. XP Pinata Specials looking pretty normal as far as the outcome. Like, man, Orange Man never does anything but be an XP Pinata, man. Poor Orange Man. He used to be feared. I swear, every game I see him in, past like year, he's just always a XP pinata. They don't make him like they used to. But there
They
are a
really
bunch of air
don't.
units, so maybe? Well, I mean, a lot of these things are really, really bad versus Orange Man, so maybe he will get some value this time. Or maybe they're just all gonna be jammed on the side that's not on Orange Man's side. That would make probably more sense, right?
Well, the requirement for Orange Man to not be a bozo is clearing chaff.
True.
And so far, Blue Arclight has been on locked on Saber duty.
Hmm.
So we are adding a Typhoon to hopefully finally be able to clear chaff on that side of the board.
Yeah, we'll see if the Typhoon manages to get it done or if it also is a Bozo locked on a Saber doing nothing the whole rounds. Entirely possible it could be the way. Honestly, this round one positioning from Agri, the Blob special, looked really good in these later rounds as the game's progressed. Like, the chaff timing for him just looks incredible every time, right?
Yeah, I think some of it maybe is a little bit of luck, like found the round one positioning just like happened to exploit a lot of stuff in how Fairy did it, but by now it's not luck. Right now it's all planned.
Okay, but think about it this way. Like, I hear what you're saying, but think about it. Who is his opponent? His opponent is Fairy. Person whose deployment heat map is so sparse that you would think he deploys in the same spot every game.
That's a
So,
good point.
so is it actually luck? Like, no copium, no memes. Like, do you think he studied Fairy and he like has labbed his positioning versus this or something potentially? Does he like know
That's a
exactly
good
where Fairy's
question.
storms are gonna be?
You know, that's literally something that I considered doing against Fairy,
Uh
but I was too lazy. It's like
huh.
Fairy has such consistent positionings that you can like try to lab very specific openings against him.
Yeah, I
And
mean
it
genuinely, I
could
think so,
be
right?
that maybe Agri has decided to do that. We could ask.
Yeah, I would love to know if we get to interview him. I hope he wins so we can.
That said, these Typhoons, gold damage, beast of a unit this round. No chaff problems on that side anymore.
Yep, definitely fixed the issue that was occurring every rounds, and nothing much was added by Agri to fix that, and the Phantom replay not looking too hot on left side.
Yeah, it takes a long time to get through these crawlers and fangs.
Hmm.
Um, you often just expect Mustangs to clear the way to the tower a lot faster than they manage to. But level 2
Yeah.
now, much better than level 1.
Hmm. And there is, of course, the intensive picked up for Agri. No surprise at all, given that he is in a Giga Mustang by the looks of his board. And Fairy sees this as well and says, you know what? You know what's good against a Giga Mustang? A Missile Strike. So he is
That's true.
potentially pressuring Agri to shield his Mustangs this turn or die, his choice.
Yep.
Dying might be
Shield
on
or
the menu.
death. Oops, sorry about that. Shield or death.
You go. Wow, that is the flank saber on this left side. The flanking saber to kill the arc lights and make it lock the saber, break its targeting.
Indeed.
That is a pretty
The other
heavy
Arclight
commitment.
is no longer a helper.
Yep. How do you feel about this commitment of the saber into the flank with this double phantom ray thing here? Looks like very much reminiscent of a Sarah board, don't you think?
Yeah, like Sarah and Dillo like to do this sort of stuff, playing with aggro a lot, like locking on the units onto inconvenient targets, taking advantage of those locks, and then trying to come in and take tower as quickly as possible. But this
Hmm.
missile strike is just gonna shut everything down this round, I think.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, he does have the arc light with range this turn though to clear out this Fang pack, and there's only like half a pack of crawlers after that, so maybe he isn't even that sad about seeing this missile strike here. Maybe that's why he only shielded one side.
Well, he'll get to
Didn't
the
win the
tower
50-50 though.
eventually, but that other side is in big trouble. And that's where the Giga Mustangs are. You don't want the side with your Giga Mustangs to be losing.
Yeah, agreed for sure. I think you also may be a bit scared of feeding your opponent's Giga Typhoon a bunch of XP too with the Giga Mustang, so
It's level 3. I don't know if I'm too worried about feeding a level 3 unit XP at this point.
that's possible. I mean, the leveled unit, I forget what like the giving XP curve is, but the needed XP curve is like really, really not steep, right? So it is pretty possible it just like levels every round for the rest of the game and could be really hard for the Mustang to chew through. But Bear like his
And
ride and says Fortress.
Typhoon is very difficult to level up, requires a lot of XP.
Yeah,
See,
for
level
sure.
4 requires almost 5,000 XP on that Typhoon.
Well, both players have immediately taken a blue fortress. No surprise there. Oh, Fairy goes to the
Yep.
damage item fortress. Wow. What vortex do we have that he made that choice so quickly? He has double shots. Double shot damage item fort potentially for Fairy. Does he have range?
Yeah,
He does have
Fairy
range.
has not played the shield on the fort or the barrier tech, the 500 cost tech, for quite a while. Been using these fort techs all season at least, and probably longer.
Very
Definitely says,
interesting.
okay, if I'm never playing aggro forts, we don't need the barrier. We can just buy bubbles and it'll be more cost efficient anyway.
Yeah, definitely. I gotta say though, I find that pretty surprising considering that Fairy does have aggro pretty easily visible in his heat map, right? Pretty surprising he does not care at all about having bubble on fort, given how good of a tech that is for aggro. Maybe he just doesn't like aggro
True.
forts or something.
Could be. Um, but also, if you just tempo them out, you don't need the bubbles. Bubbles an expensive tech anyway.
Possibly, yeah. I mean, honestly, bubble is so expensive now that sometimes you end up not taking it for a long time, right? So I think that's pretty reasonable. But in this matchup here, Fairy does have the distinct fort dueling advantage given that he has a really just +1 relevant tech. I forget what did Agri have that was not relevant. He has oh right, he does have bubble. Sorry, Fairy has double shot. Agri has bubble. That is the difference in their bar. Other than that, they are the same, I
Yeah.
believe.
They're both like competent port dueling techs, I'd say.
Yeah,
The
I think
main
I would give it to
advantage
the
I
double
think
shot
Agri
bar.
has in the super late game is having access to these Mustangs compared to simply Arclight and Marksman. The Mustangs can make for a more efficient late game board, with the Mustangs providing much needed chaff. However, he has to get to the late game for that to even possibly be an advantage.
For sure. I will say, I noticed that the Mustangs in this blue fort here got some really juicy XP. The Mustang killed a blue fort, and the blue fort killed an orange Typhoon. Like,
Yeah, the
full
blue fort
XP, I
got a
think.
level. Level 3 fort can be super scary. That's when the barrier starts to be super real too.
Yeah, definitely. Fort's definitely a unit that loves all of its stats. Super, super happy to receive levels. Wow, that Mustang is like 1 XP away. That is so sad. It's top in every stat too, despite being locked in a blue fort. Man.
Oh my goodness. Are we gonna see a level 4 fortress this round?
Oh, with the intensive, you mean? Maybe, yeah. I mean, it feels really bad to level this Mustang, right? Does he level 4 it? Please, do it. Make the big forts. You know you want to.
But you know
Or maybe
what's
he goes for
super
like,
sad? This Mustang with the item just no left out to dry. So sad.
no. Man, I'd even be tempted to like beacon this Mustang to this orange fort or something. Just say like, screw this right
Honestly,
side.
I kind of like that idea. Maybe that is the play, just to
I
make that
mean,
Mustang guaranteed to contribute in a meaningful way, not just get stuck on a fort and die to an Arclight event.
right? I mean, it's literally his best unit. Like, I know he's got an orange fort in the board, but that's still the best unit in the whole board is that one Mustang. So it feels really bad to just be abandoning it like this. But, you know, maybe it just doesn't matter. Maybe Giga Mustang is a thing of the past. Fortress is the future. Oh, I think
Maybe
Agri
Fire
went for the
Fairy, a
level on
little
left fort.
scared in this Fortress mirror, says, okay, once Agri manages to sell all these stupid sabers, we might be a little bit in trouble with the composition, so loaning, trying to close out the game as soon as possible here. Don't let
Yeah,
the Mustang Fortress comp get to the barrier tech that is difficult for him to match.
yep, for sure. And how close is he to lethal here? Could happen, right? If he were to get like a big blowout round somehow. I don't think he will, given that they're just in a complete mirror in the Fortress Tech here, but like,
Yeah, I
I'm
mean,
not
it
even sure he
looks like
wins.
there's no way Fire Fairy can even contest that weak side. Level
Yeah.
3 Fortress is just insanely strong, and this beacon means the tower debuff is taken full advantage of. Oh, never mind, there's a debuff on the other side too. Oh, wrecked.
Yeah. It
Bad
looked really good for a minute
debuff
there.
timing.
Yeah.
It looked
Yeah.
really good until it didn't look very good.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay,
Maybe
your
if that
Giga Sting
beacon
finally got that level. What are we doing to let this Giga Sting shine?
I'm down to buy like 2 blue forts and click bubble and sell a saber and alone time for range temp speed, like power attack level 4, call it a turn.
Can we sell a Saber? Do we have to sell a Scorpion?
Yeah, maybe we have to sell a Scorpion. Or maybe we just go like, oh yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking, but I didn't think too long about it. Maybe we go boats here? Nah. I mean, maybe Agri goes boats. Like, Fairy's anti-air is a bit weak, right? But,
Oh, look at this read.
oh, does this kill the boat flank? Surely it does, right? There's no way it doesn't
It
turn.
does. As long as he doesn't chicken out and sell it or something. Oh, he already sold a saber.
Okay, now it will for sure. I don't know. This crawler's like really far forward. It's kind of scaring me. This boat's not turning.
That
Surely it
boat is
turns though.
definitely turning. It's definitely turning. Just if you click on it, it's got the arrow.
Boats are
Clearly,
very
the arrow
stupid
would never
creatures,
lie
man.
to us.
You can't trust arrows or boats, either one. Never trust an arrow. Arrows are dishonest. But Agri has a loose crawler, by the way, here, which Fairy has like literally zero Mustangs, right? It's going to be really, really strong for him this turn.
Yeah, and we
Probably.
already got a unit drop. There's not going to be a unit drop to fix the problem. And oil though is very strong against fortress pushes.
Hmm.
Um, Slows them down and then burns all the crawlers and mustangs the next round. It can be an absolute backbreaker in some scenarios.
Yeah, for sure. I will say, like, in this particular case, they're just like in a complete mirror. Both have temp range, both have fortress range. So, like, it really isn't that big a deal that he's getting oiled, you know? Like, it is really big in general, but in this case, like, are you really even that unhappy to be oiled? Like, you're kind of just sitting there shooting each other in the line, anyways, right?
Uh, well, all the mustangs are dead anyway, so maybe the oil wouldn't have changed anything.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know. Maybe I feel like it doesn't matter. This boat on the right side looks really good for Agri, though.
Yeah, there's
Like,
not any anti-air either.
mm-hmm.
Even if all the forts die somehow, which is not gonna happen, there would be an
Yep.
air win.
Man, white boat here just doing a monstrous DPS that board. That's crazy. Who needs for its double
Yeah, the
shot?
entire anti-air for Fire Fairy is like 2 marksman, so
Yep. And one of them
looking
got
pretty
splashed by
good for the
boats.
boats.
Mm-hmm. Ooh, that is a smoke there. That definitely makes this oil quite
Uh-oh.
real. Maybe you just like moonwalk out of here. Do you ever just like beacon your laser sight Mustang into fort just away from this? Just don't play the game.
I don't know. This is a huge problem. You need to address the smoke. If he doesn't predict the smoke and just lets these forts walk in, then it could just be instant game. But another thing we could finally see the barriers on the forts. There's the money available.
Ooh,
What
Agri goes to this
melting point?
melter.
Wait,
Yeah,
why melting point?
there was a super heavy. I think he thinks Fairy is taking the super heavy and putting it on a blue fort or something over here. Or that either that or he thinks that like his fort bar is like too bad to play the game. I'm not really sure which.
Hmm.
But he might not have the read. I know he's got the read. He's got the read.
Oh,
He's got
nice
it.
read.
Okay.
I disagree though. I think he's got a perfectly fine fort dueling bar. If the forts die to the double shot, the melters are definitely gonna die to the double shot, right?
Oh, I agree.
So
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with you. I'm just thinking this is like maybe a potential interpretation for why you might want to go into Melter here. I'm not
yeah,
really
yeah,
sure.
that's definitely a possible interpretation here. Oh, 3 melters.
Okay, another thing though, like last turn, all of Fairy's chaff was dead super early, and then there were just like big tanky things to shoot at. So maybe he's trying to one-shot Fairy this turn with this play. Maybe he thinks that like all the chaff just explodes due to Giga Mustang, and then he just gets the locks and the game's over. Or maybe
That
even
could
like the bubble
be.
breaking too. It's
The
pretty
other thing
relevant, right?
yeah, it could be saying, okay, next turn we finally get barrage. It's like a play for next turn, but then you have to live another turn,
Mm.
which is always scary.
Yeah, I like that actually. I mean, Fairy has no fort bubbles, right? So Barrage is actually super real versus him.
Yeah, barrage just like if it lands on a fort, the fort is dead. It doesn't do anything.
Mm-hmm. And here's these early locks I was talking about. I mean, early-ish, right? But like in the context of the fort mirror, it's like pretty slow.
Yeah.
So you can afford to have it be quote early like this, and that looks pretty good. And there's really just no late anything for him at all, right? There's no late things, no nothing. Just
Is this enough? Is this Oh, the fort died. I think if
no.
that fort didn't die, it was a game.
Yeah, it's really close, right?
Oh, not
Needs
quite, never mind.
needs two giants to kill there. But I don't think his board state's bad this turn. I think he's in a really great spot since Fairy does not have the Fort Bubble. There is a barrier item, but not quite the same thing
Sure.
as Fort
If you
Bubble.
want another bubble for a little bit stronger, but a little bit more expensive than the 50 cost bubbles, I suppose.
Mm-hmm.
There's
Yep,
the
and there's the
EMP barrage.
barrage.
I think this might be enough,
Yeah,
but
I
I
think
don't
it's
wanna
really
say
good.
it too early. Fire Fairy is still deciding what to do this turn. Lots of decisions to make.
Yeah, I would say in retrospect, I really like this play from Agri here in the Fort Mirror, given what his opponent's bar is. Not having the bubble here for the forts is just a really, really big issue against the EMP from Melters.
Yeah, the melters are pretty bad against the bubble. The double shot takes care of that a lot better.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And then getting EMP'd with carry forts like this is completely deadly. But Fire Fairy getting a lot of chaff here with the Mustangs. Maybe the Mustangs will be able to prevent these EMP barrages from locking on in a timely fashion. There's still the smoke. Smoke is still maybe kind of a problem for a decent number of Agri's units this turn.
Yeah, for sure. I definitely think that that's a thing you're really wishing was not on the board here if you're Agri in your Fort Mirror. That is a bad, bad day, but he is fortunate enough to have the laser sight staying on that side, so it's not as big a deal as it could be. And he is, of course, able to knowingly beacon them out of this, so maybe it's just A-okay, you know?
So many missiles, look at that.
Yeah,
Maybe it was a
tons
good
of them on the
turn for
line.
some missile strikes.
Mhm.
Sorry, for some anti-missile. Just how many missiles there were.
For sure. Yeah, maybe even on the Mustangs. Is that ever insane enough to do? You just,
Uh-oh.
like, expect that
MP's
many?
landing.
Yep,
Oh, the
ooh.
lock-ons are perfect for Agri.
Yeah. Yeah, the Mustang timing is just not good enough to chaff at the forts.
Wait,
Light
but the
Melchers getting it
Gigafort's
done.
dead. Is it
Yeah.
still enough for Fire Fairy here?
I mean, the late fight is really good for Agri, right? With the EMP barrage coming back up in, like, 5
You would think
seconds,
so,
so
but not if the units are dead.
yeah, true. Maybe it's not
Uh-oh,
enough?
going for the other tower? The other tower? No!
Oh, that EMP timing is so
Oh, and
bad.
that's game!
That's it.
Whoa.
Wow.
What a disastrous tower timing for Agri, and Fire Fairy barely takes it.
Man, I'm so surprised. I was so sold on this idea of the EMP Melter winning this game. Somehow the tower timing just brought it back there.
Yeah,
What a
the
crazy
side
game.
that got smoked just collapsed a little bit too hard, it looks like.
Yeah.
And the Mustang chaff was very effective against the melting point.
Wow. What a crazy game. I'm so shocked this board from Agri did not win after he got that super early lock in level 4 forts. That is crazy. That smoke over there on the left side just doing work, I guess, just making that side collapse super hard.
Yeah. Eventually there was also the tech diff on the crawlers. Loose
Mhm.
formation got the job done for a little while, but not very good against Mass Mustang and Mass Missile, by the way.
Yeah, that's very true, actually. Fairy did have the lots and lots of Mustangs added the last round, also got underground in his colors last round, so probably making quite an impact on how quickly things were dying or not dying in the board this last turn.
And that Mustang prod line, maybe the unsung hero of the entire round, producing Mustangs that then walk in and get tower and then clean up the round at the very end.
Yeah, for sure. I think that's super relevant versus the melting points, right? Like super duper duper relevant for your double shot range
Yeah.
forts.
Very smart to put it on the unit that you know is going to last longer than any other giant on your board.
100%. Well, awesome game from Fairy. I believe that means he is the victor of the round of 8 group, right? So he will be going on to the semifinals, I believe.
Indeed. And Fire Fairy's bounty goes up to what, 6? 6 wins in a row as he claims Agri's bounty.